The Patriots received a huge bullshit punishment and no one's talking about it. And the reason for that is because the Cam news was released within an hour of the punishment news. And if you think this is a coincidence, I have news for you. It was not. Really quickly, if you enjoy my content or if you like this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and I appreciate it. So what I'm pretty sure happened here was the Patriots found out that the news was coming of their punishment regarding the incident during the season where their crew was caught filming the Bengals sideline. And I'll get into some of the logistics of that in a second here, but I assume the Patriots heard about that, heard the news was coming, this date and time, and it just happened to be around the same time where they were finalizing things with Cam Newton. My guess is that they had finished that earlier in the week. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the news came on a Friday night. So I assume at some point in the middle of the week they had probably finalized the Cam news, but they were like, hey, this stuff is coming out Friday night. It's not a great look. We don't really want people talking about it again. Let's warm their hearts with some exciting news. And I don't blame the Patriots for doing that at all. If I was part of their PR, I'd do the same thing. Why would you not want to try and hide some of the more negative stuff with positive stuff? Like, it's just a no-brainer. Now, if we're talking about the actual punishment itself, it's a lot of horse crap. So reading it through real quick, it's $1.1 million in club fines, the loss of a third-round pick in the 2021 draft. That's the big one. The television production crew for the Patriots will not be allowed to shoot any games for the 2020 season, and senior club officials will have required training on league operation and game policies. Now, the last two aren't big deals. The main kickers here are the massive fine and most especially the third-round draft pick. And the reason why this is garbage is because there was no wrongdoing as far as the team goes. This production crew that was filming, they did break the rules and they have connections with Kraft's production company. But that crew has nothing to do with football operations. They said they were there to film the Do Your Job documentary series, and that's what they were doing. And they don't have interaction with the team at all. And the league investigation that found that same thing. And I read many things that they were frustrated that they didn't find any correlation because there was no evidence. They had nothing to really punish them for. They did not find wrongdoing from the team. Yet, here we are with a punishment. I just don't understand. Why are the Patriots being punished for something that was non-football? One, didn't have to do with their team. And two, had no wrongdoing. At least from what the NFL has said, they put out that statement that they did not find any wrongdoing. But we still have a punishment. And I get the whole repeat offender thing. And I think in general, if you are a repeat offender of just whatever, the next time you should be punished more harshly. I think that's fair. And the Patriots do have a cheating history. Spygate, you can't defend. You can't. It's bad. Deflategate, I really don't want to get into it a whole lot here. But the bottom line is there was pretty much no evidence from that report either. And, did Brady know about the deflated balls? Probably. We'll never know for sure. But you could point to the answer probably being yes. There are things out there that make you believe that. However, if you just think about it for a second, the greatest quarterback of all time, the most important player on the Patriots, was suspended for a quarter of the season because he may have been generally aware that footballs were being deflated. So he got suspended for a quarter of the season because he knew something. Keep in mind, this was for a game that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 45-7, and it was mostly dominated by LeGarrette Blount. It was dominated on the ground. Let me get this straight here. So the Patriots quarterback was suspended for 4 games because the balls were deflated in a game that was a complete blowout. So the balls being deflated, did it really give them a competitive advantage in that game? Doesn't really seem like it. So no competitive advantage. The rules were broken, so you should be punished for that. But no competitive advantage. No hardcore, there it is, like that's the evidence. From the league, mind you. And not only that, but Brady won his suspension appeal. So it was revoked. And the judge was like, nope, this is bullshit. But the league said, no, that's not okay. We want to win. We want to win this. We need to assert our dominance. We need to show our power. And we need to stick it to the Pats. We need to just show that we can pretty much do whatever we want. Whether or not it's right or wrong, we don't really care about that. We just want to make sure that if we want to do something, that we have the power to do so. So yeah, I do think they should have been punished in some capacity for what happened there. But they came down extremely hard on the Patriots for Deflategate. The Brady suspension was massive. And the best thing is, they went 3-1 in those games he didn't play, and then they won the fucking Super Bowl later in the year. So that's the biggest FU that they could have given them, and they did it. Got a bit sidetracked there, bringing it back to this Bengals thing. No evidence, really, like at all, again, but third-round draft pick. That's huge. I mean, the top half of the draft, you're stripping them of one of those picks, and that has implications for the future. The fine is one thing. It's a really big one as far as NFL fines go, like the dollar amount, I mean. But it's frustrating that the league can just be like, hey, like, we don't like this, or we don't like you, and we're going to punish you for it. And again, if you want to fine the team because that production crew is for that team, like they're filming for the Patriots, like I'm okay with that. If you want to slap them on the wrist, say that's not okay, like cut the shit, fine. But to dock the team of a draft pick, a pick that is going to, or would have had an effect on the Patriots' future, I think that's way too much. I think that is crossing the line, and that's why I think this is bogus. I think the pick is the really only thing that like super pisses me off, because it didn't have to do with the team. This punishment is affecting the team, and the wrongdoing, which there wasn't any of, as far as the league said, in regards to football operations. They did break the rules, but it wasn't in regards to football operations. That punishment affects the Patriots, the team, when it should really only affect the people who did the rule breaking, the production crew, and those guys, which they got fired. They're not working for Kraft Productions anymore. But I just don't understand how you can have that sort of punishment for something that didn't have to do with any of it. I sound repetitive here, but like that's what happened. Like I don't know what else to say. It's stupid. And there were a lot of factors to this whole thing that really didn't make any sense. So it came out and the immediate reaction was, oh, they cheated. Like, here they go again, the cheat treats, blah, blah, blah. Like, once again, whatever. But if they were cheating, hypothetically, let's say that their intention was to cheat, to, pick up on signals. I don't know, just something like that. Why would they go and do it in plain sight? They weren't trying to hide it. They were up in the press box or whatever the fuck where, a bunch of other team officials were. And they were just filming it. And if they were cheating, you would think that they would try and be more slick about it and more discreet. That's clearly not what they were doing. And, the fact that people think that they would do that just out in the open, broad daylight, I don't really understand that. But on the contrary, just to play devil's advocate here, it is a little suspicious that the sideline was being recorded for so long. That doesn't make sense. And that's a bit fishy. And it should be questioned because that's not okay. And, again, they did break the rules. Like, that's plain and simple. They broke the rules. But nothing to do with the team. I don't know how many times I can say that. Probably getting annoying at this point. I am sorry. But another thing here is like the footage that they were getting. Any fan that's up in the bleachers, like the high up seats, they could get the same footage by fucking taking their phone and recording it like this. They would get the same thing that the Patriots were getting for their documentary series. So if they were really cheating, they could have someone dress up as a normal fan, go in there, and get that footage. Like, there's no competitive advantage to getting at least that I can see. Maybe, it looks different to an NFL scout or, team official or player. Maybe that footage looks different to them than it does for me because my football knowledge is not nearly as advanced as theirs. So maybe, what I'm saying is we look at that footage and we go, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. But they watch it and they go, oh, like, look at this. Like, they could pick up on some things that we might not. That could very well be the case. But from what I can see, I don't see competitive advantage here. Again, but the biggest thing is that there was no connection to the team. So that's why the 3rd round pick really does frustrate me. And just in general, I think the punishment is bullshit. Again, like, if you want to fine them, just because you want to punish them in some way, shape, or form, fine. Like, money, whatever. Just do it. But the pick is just way too much, in my opinion. I think that's crossing the line, especially given that there's no connection to the team. You are hurting the team with that punishment, and the team itself didn't do anything wrong. The production crew did. So that's kind of that. I really do understand the repeat offender thing. Like, if you are going to continuously break the rules, I think each time you should be punished more. But you also have to take each individual case and isolate it and look at what was done wrong by who, and then punish those people accordingly. I don't think that was done with Deflategate. I think they went overboard with it, like way, way overboard. And then with this, I think they went overboard with the pick. I do. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Life goes on. This news was completely overshadowed by the signing of Cam Newton. I don't blame the team at all. I just wanted to give my thoughts. What do you guys think of the punishment that they got? I think it was a bit too harsh, considering what exactly happened. Comment below, let me know what you think. As always, like and subscribe, and yeah.